Hello everybody and welcome back to AOR Season 16 here for round number 2, the Bahrain Grand Prix. And coming into this round after our pretty strong P3 at Australia from 11th on the grid, which was definitely a pretty strong result and a good way to start the season. And around here, around Bahrain, it's not really been one of my strongest tracks in the past. Not really a track I enjoy too much either, but for this race here today, my practice went really well and the setup felt pretty much perfect for this track as well, and my tyre wear was really good as well, so I was coming into this race pretty confident. And you can see here in qualifying we got about a minute 45 left of this qualifying session, and you can see I'm currently in P3 with a 25.7, which is actually a pretty decent lap time, but I know we've still got a bit more time to find here. And you can see here on this lap, my first lap of my final run, I'm currently down on my time by about half a tenth, but we did take turn 4 there pretty well. We managed to gain quite a bit of time because I didn't take turn 1 and 2 that well on this lap. But into the middle sector now, first gear around the hairpin, short shifting up now to third gear, and now heading towards this really weird left-hander which I never seem to be able to get right. And you can see on this lap here, the entry was pretty good, but on the exit now we just get really bad traction and we've lost too much time through that, and that's a lap over, so we're going to have to save ERS, save fuel and go again, which will be the lap that counts if we can get it right. But that extra lap that we've done there on our tyres isn't going to help us for the race at all, because the one stop going super soft to mediums, pitting on about lap 9 or lap 8 is pretty tough to do, so that's not going to help our cause at all with the tyre wear by doing that extra lap. But you can see Epic Gamer there has done a 25.2, which is absolutely rapid, as we now start our lap, and he moves over there right in front of us. But into turn number 1, braking just about the 100 metre board, and we go first gear, short shifting up through the gears, getting a bit of oversteer there on the exit, as now heading down the straight towards turn number 4. You can see we're 600ths down on our previous best time, so not the best first couple of corners. But now into turn 4, you don't really want to hit the curb through there, but I did on this lap, which was a bit of a mistake. But now taking this 6th gear around there, you can take it in 5th, but I take it in 6th in qualifying laps, but in the race I take it in 5th. And you can see first gear around the hairpin, not touching the curb, short shifting up through the gears on the exit. And now towards the left-hander that we got wrong on the last lap, and you can see this lap we get it right pretty much. Hit the curve a bit too hard once again, but that's all fine there. And you can see 75 hundredths up there on our previous best lap, as now heading towards this left-hander here. 4th gear, short shifting up once again through the gears to 5th. And you can see Big C's now in P3, so we need to try and get back in front of him and try and improve our lap here. So now into this corner, taking it 3rd gear, and on the exit you don't want to run wide there because then your lap will get invalidated. But you can see towards the final corner we got Alex on our right there letting us through, and braking into the final corner, going 3rd gear, and you don't want to touch the curb on the exit. And now opening DRS as early as you can, towards the line we go, and it's a 25.666, which is, I believe that was my online PB actually, so I was pretty pleased with that. And that's put us on P3 on the grid behind Deagle and Epic Gamer with a 25.2, and I kind of could guess from that he was on, well, he was using a setup that wasn't going to be good on its tyres to set a lap time like that. But anyway, rounding up to the 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go here for AOR Season 16 round number 2. And our start off the line there wasn't great, and to be honest my starts in this game haven't been fantastic so far. But you can see heading towards turn number 1 we got Yano and Force India up our inside temporarily, but we managed to brake a bit later than him, and we've managed to maintain our P3. And it's still Lucas Blakely in the lead there from Deagle Killer in P2. And you can see Big C has actually managed to get back up into P4 after a pretty bad launch off the line, and he's managed to get back through into P4, and that's actually created a bit of a gap behind to him. And the top 3, including myself, are starting to pull away already, and you can see the gap is 0.7 of a second back to Big C. And to be honest, that's what I wanted. I wanted to hopefully get away with Lucas Blakely and Deagle Killer, and then focus on saving my ERS, saving my fuel and saving my tyres at the same time, and then hopefully trying to pass these two in front later on in the stint, if not later on in the race itself. And I was also hoping possibly to see the group behind start battling and start holding up the guys who qualified outside the top 10 and would have been starting on the soft tyres, because in terms of race pace with a one stop, the best thing to do is to start on the soft tyres and then switch to the medium tyres at about lap 12, because compared to the guys in the super soft tyres like myself, people with the soft tyres would have such a massive pace advantage from about lap 6 onwards till when we pit obviously, and then also at the end of the race when we have really worn out medium tyres as well, because obviously they pit later because they're on the soft tyres. So yeah, compared to racing with the super soft tyres, the best thing to do is to start on the soft tyres, but I wanted to qualify as high up as possible, so that's why I went on the super soft tyres in qualifying. And our pace is good at this stage in the race, but AOR Flying Finn is now in P4 behind us. He's managed to get past his teammate Big C, and you can see here on lap 5 that we haven't lost touch at all with Epic Gamer, and Deagle Killer's right in front of us as well, so we are in a very, very good position. I've been saving my ERS especially, and also saving my tyres, and the pace has been good and consistent, and I felt in a very comfortable position right now where we can easily fight for a win at this stage in the race, and I felt like this pace could be easily maintained, and I was hoping to maybe overtake these guys in the coming laps, just depending if there was a good enough opportunity to do so. But also someone I haven't mentioned in this race is Synthetic, or Williams Alex, and that's because he actually qualified last for this race, I believe, and that is because he travelled to England for the F1 Esports Pro Series, and he was racing with, I'm not sure what was different, but he was racing with new equipment, and he obviously didn't have much time to get used to that, so it was definitely difficult for him in this race, and I believe at this stage he's still in somewhere like P16 or something, so we don't really have to worry about him at all today, but of course he's still going to be in the fight for the championship, and I wish him the best of luck in the F1 Esports Pro Series as well. But you can see down the straight here on lap 6, Deagle goes for a move on Epic Gamer, and we're going to go for a move on him as well with ERS and overtake down the inside of turn number 1, and we managed to get that move done, and I'm pretty sure Epic Gamer's tyres are now shot, and he's really struggling with them because his setup, you could have told by his qualifying lap that his setup was quite bad on the tyres. It was more of a time trial setup than a race setup, and with a time like that he's obviously pushing the tyres to the absolute limit, and I think he's reached a stage now where he's struggling a lot, and already we've pulled a gap of 0.6 of a second over him, and we're still sticking with Deagle for the time being as well, so if the opportunity comes I'm going to try and get past Deagle as well and then try and pull away, because I felt like compared to a lot of people around me I had a lot of pace at the end of stints with worn out tyres, because the setup I was running and also my style on this game especially has been good on the tyres, and I don't think I've always necessarily been that good on the tyres, but on this game so far anyway I seem to be able to make the tyres work in race trim, and towards the end of stints I can find good pace, and you can see into the final sector now of the lap here on lap 6, and we are in an easy position now to get past Deagle. We are easily within a second, and we're going to get DRS, and we've got plenty of ERS to use to make a move down this pit straight here. So rounding the final corner, getting a decent exit out the final corner as well, putting ERS in overtake, fuel in rich mix as well, DRS open now, so down the pit straight we've got slipstream, and we've got everything we need to try and make this move on Deagle Killer towards turn number 1. Down the inside we go, and we brake a tiny bit later than him as well, up the inside, and the move is not quite done yet. We make a tiny bit of contact, and we're still side by side down here, and he's lagging a little bit as we now head towards turn number 4, and you can see, I'm not sure why he's lagging quite a lot, but we're still up the inside and we're in a good position now to make the move and get into P1 here on lap 7. But this is the stage where the guys on the soft tyres are going to be gaining a lot of time on us, and I didn't know during the race at all, but some of you may have seen just like the insane battles that were going on in the midfield whilst I was making these moves here to get into second and then to get into the lead. There was a massive battle, and Dom Hoffman, my teammate, managed to get through it all and is now in, I think, P5. You can see him on the mini-map going into the final corner now, but you would have seen there as well that Deagle tried to dummy me to go into the pits, and I was going to stay out till lap 9 anyway, but he tried to trick me into going into the pits there on lap 8, but we've stayed out and we're starting to extend the gap on him as well. But as I was saying, Dom Hoffman is in a good position, so I wouldn't count him out of victory contention at all. And also Floris had a very good start to the race, but he unfortunately lost part of his front wing, but he would have been possibly in contention for a win as well. But entering the pits now here at the end of lap 9, braking for the pit speed limit, and Deagle and I believe that's Michael as well follow us in, and my teammate Dom Hoffman has carried on obviously on the soft tyres, and we get held a little bit in the pits as well because of Michael. I knew going onto these tyres here that I wouldn't have the same pace advantage as I did on the super softs, purely because I struggle more on the harder compound than I do on the softer compound. It's definitely something I need to work on, because I do suffer with the pace in the second stints. But you can see Epic Gamer there, or Lucas Blakely, goes through. He pitched on lap 6 I believe, so he's definitely going to struggle to get those mediums to the end, and he was really struggling with tyre wear in general. But you could just see our lack of grip coming out of the pits there, losing it immediately out of turn 1, and when the especially when the harder compound of tyre is cold at the start of stints, it's so difficult to just get them up to temperature. It's actually really easy to lose the cars, spin, or just understeer everywhere, and it takes a while to warm them up. But you can see now on to lap 11, and we've just about got our tyres up to temperature, and Deagle is actually only 3/10 behind us. Dom Hoffman's coming out of the pits now, and you can see we're going to have to defend from Deagle. Epic Gamer has got quite a bit of a gap on us now, and we defend the inside line from Deagle for the time being. But yeah, we're suffering more with the pace on this tyre compared to what we had on the Super Softs. And I knew Lucas Blakely would come back towards us at the end of the race with his worn out medium tyres, but he's got quite a bit of a gap on us right now, and he's in a fairly decent position, but he's got to save his tyres. And you can see now onto lap 13, Deagle's going to go up the inside pretty easily this time round, and there was nothing I could do there. But it's so difficult in this race, well, especially around this track, to pull away with the ERS and the slipstream, and the DRS especially as well, being quite powerful around here. And Deagle has gone through, but we're going to try and get him back immediately, because I knew I had a bit of a pace advantage in the middle sector. So we go up the inside line, and we're trying to get through, going side by side towards the S's, and we're not able to make the move this time, at least. Still going side by side, but Deagle edges in front, so we just got to save some more ERS and try and get him back at a later point. Flying Finn is right behind us now, and then after that it's my teammate Dom Hoffman. I believe Dom started 14th, and I think he was like a couple of others in the way that he sort of deliberately qualified outside the top 10 in order to get the soft tyres, purely because of the fact that the strategy of the one stop with the soft tyres is so much better really for the race than compared if you're going to use the super soft tyres. But you can see now onto lap 14, once again right behind Deagle this time and saving our ERS. But you can see Flying Finn's actually hit us into that corner. He was battling with my teammate, and he outbraked himself there and actually hit the back of us there. So that definitely caught me off guard. I was just saving ERS and saving fuel behind Deagle, not fighting Deagle on this lap, but to get hit like that was obviously not great. But I think that was just a let's call it a rookie error there from Flying Finn, and I understand how easy that is to do in a situation like that when you're going side by side with someone. But now moving on to lap 15, and my teammate has actually managed to get past Flying Finn, and now he's not far off the back of us as well. And Deagle's got a tiny bit of a gap on us as well, but we're in easy range of sticking with him right now, and we're just trying to save fuel and save ERS when you're behind the car. It's best to do that when you're behind, and it's so difficult to pull away, as I said already. And you can see into turn 1 now, Dom goes down the inside, which I wasn't really expecting. He goes for the move into turn number 1, and we're still side by side around turn 2. I sort of force him a bit wide there, and going side by side towards turn 4 as well. And I wasn't going to fight him too hard because he has superior tyres and pace at this stage in the race. So down the inside of turn 4 he goes, and I was hoping to just follow him and hopefully get past Deagle when he gets through, because it's only really a matter of time before he gets past Deagle. His pace has been really insane, and he's done an amazing job to get through from P14 on the grid, partly due to his strategy as well being a lot more superior really compared to the super soft medium strategy. And you can see already moving on to lap 16 he's going to make the move on Deagle, and I should think he'll be able to catch and pass Epic Gamer as well pretty quickly once he gets this move done though. So into turn number 1, it looks like he's got it done. Up the inside he goes, and we actually break a bit too late as well, going a bit deep into turn 1, but Dom's got through into P2, and now we've got to try and catch Deagle as well. But something that I actually had no idea of during the race was that Dom actually had 6 seconds worth of time penalties, so a kind of similar scenario to Australia where he got 9 seconds worth of time penalties, and that cost him 4 positions in the end. And that's clearly a weakness of his, but I actually had no idea that he had that penalty, so we've got to try and stay within 6 seconds of him. And you can see into turn 1 we look to the inside of Deagle, but Deagle's gone a bit deep, and now we're going to try and get past Deagle and try and stay within 6 seconds of Dom, but I literally had no idea that I had to do that. But we're still going to try and get past Deagle as quickly as possible here. So going into turn 4, going for the switchback move here, up the inside now towards the S's, and can we get this move done this time? And we go down the inside, braking a bit later than him, still side by side. This is getting pretty close through here. Don't get onto that curb on the exit there of that corner, but up the inside of the hairpin now, and we've managed to get the move just about done. He's still side by side with us, and we're going to go to the inside there and hold P3. So we managed to get through, and yeah, the move is done. But hopefully now we can pull away from these guys, because we got Deagle, Flying Finn, and then Michael. And Michael obviously won the first race as well, so he's definitely going to be a rival in this championship for us as well. So we need to try and extend this gap to the cars behind. and I was hoping they'd start battling so it would enable me to pull away and hopefully catch Epic Gamer once Dom gets through as well. And then of course if I was to win the race, stay within 6 seconds of Dom, but Dom's pace was amazing, and I was trying not to fight with Epic Gamer because we were losing, sorry not Epic Gamer, Deagle, because we were losing quite a bit of time, and the gap to Dom is actually 3 seconds already. But into turn 1, once again having to go defensive from Deagle, and it's just impossible to pull away whilst managing ERS, and I felt like out of us two I was the quicker driver, and I felt like I could drag us up to Epic Gamer once Dom gets past and once Epic Gamer starts losing a lot of pace due to his tyres. But it was just impossible to pull away from this group, and I didn't really want to get involved in battles because we're just going to lose a lot of time here. And it's lap 21, so we haven't got too long left of this race to try and catch Epic Gamer, and I was doing all I can to just try and pull away from the guys behind whilst managing ERS, fuel and tyres at the same time, but it was just so difficult to do so with the... I felt like the slipstream as well was quite powerful on this game. It's more like what it was in F1 2016 compared to what it was in F1 2017, and you can just see that there through the fact that I'm having to defend the inside on Deagle, once again battling with him, losing more time. But as I was saying, the slipstream feels more like F1 2016 but not quite as powerful as that game, but I do feel like it's probably the right amount, and I feel like it's what it should be on this game, which, as difficult as it is to pull away, I feel it's the right amount. But you would have seen through turn 1 there where I defended, I did pull a small gap to the cars behind, but once again onto lap 22 we just haven't got a big enough gap, and there's nothing really we can do to pull away. And now starting lap 23, ERS is in overtake, fuel's in rich, going defensive on Deagle, but there's nothing I can do. He was way too close on that lap, so he manages to get the move done. And now I thought now's my time to just save some fuel, save some ERS, and then wait a few laps, sit behind him, and then later on try and get him back. And hopefully by doing this we won't lose too much time. You can see behind Michael and Flying Finn are starting to battle, and Michael actually goes down the inside there I think of turn 4. Can't really see him in the mirrors with the halo and everything, but the two cars behind are battling, and that's allowing us to pull a bit of a gap. You can see the gap's actually 1 second whilst they battle. But yeah, saving ERS, saving fuel, and hopefully Deagle can drag us up towards Epic Gamer and stay within 6 seconds of Dom. But like I said, we have no idea. I think both of us had no idea of the penalties that Dom had, so I think if we both knew about Dom's penalties we wouldn't have fought each other as hard as we did. And this is a good example of it here on lap 24, once again trying to get Deagle back. He defends the inside line, but we're going to go around the outside and brake a bit later than him, bashing wheels a bit there on the entry to the corner, and we managed to hold it around the outside and make a pretty nice move up into P3. And the reason why I'm making these moves, even though I'm saying I should sit behind and save ERS and save fuel, is because I felt like I had better pace than him, and I felt like I could drag us both up to Epic Gamer and also save quite a bit of time by not battling. But once again onto the pit straight towards the end of lap 24 and to start of lap 25, I just haven't got the gap, and there's nothing I can do, and Deagle's going to get me back once again with his ERS and slipstream, DRS and everything, and he gets through. So once again doing the same thing, saving fuel, saving ERS, and then waiting for another opportunity to try and get him back, because I thought at this stage the most we can do is second place by getting past both Deagle and Epic Gamer. But little did I know at this stage we were actually within 6 seconds still of Dom, I believe, so we were actually fighting well, we were in a provisional P3 with a chance of still getting a win, but by losing time, by fighting, we're not going to get this win, which is just a bit of a shame. But let's see what we can do in these final few laps of the race. So moving on to lap 26, we've sat behind Deagle for a couple of laps now, and you can see the amount of ERS I've got. It's a lot more than I had, so I've done what I wanted to do. I've saved some fuel, saved some ERS, and you can see Epic Gamer's getting a lot closer to us as well. I was surprised that his pace was still being maintained, considering how early he pitted and like how bad his tyre wear was on super softs, and I was expecting us to catch him quicker than we did, to be honest. But now starting, well, we're about to start lap 27 onto the pit straight, ERS and overtake, fuel and rich, and I felt like this was my time to try and get through. We set a personal best lap of the race with a 29.8 here on lap 27, and down the inside we go. Deagle defends it pretty late there, and we go up the inside anyway, and we clatter the curb on the entry, and we managed to get through on Deagle up into P3. And now I thought, no more battling, now I've just got to try and get this gap up to Deagle and just focus on closing on Epic Gamer, because now we're outside of that 6-second gap of Dom, so the race win's out of the question. Now we just got to focus on getting P2 and also trying to beat the cars behind, but we still haven't managed to get rid of Michael, who's actually managed to stick on the back of Deagle as well. Flying Finn can't really maintain the pace, he's dropped a bit further back, has now onto the penultimate lap of the race, and I believe we're going to stay on board from here to the end, defending the inside line against Deagle into turn number 1 on this lap, and we managed to do that, and I was kind of trying to force him a bit wide there so I could try and build up a bit of a gap, because I know it's going to be a similar situation on the last lap of the race where down the pit straight he's going to have the DRS once again and the slipstream, so it's going to be difficult to maintain the position. But Epic Gamer is 1.4 in front of us, so there's still a chance to catch him here, and yeah, his tyres are dropping off pretty rapidly at this time, so we just got to, yeah, it's a really tough position to try and defend whilst trying to close on the car in front. And it was a pretty stressful race, lots of good battles in this race, but after the first stint where I was leading, I did think it would be a fight for a win, not a fight for third place or second place, so that's a bit of a shame in that point. But we've obviously gained a lot of points on my championship rival from season 14 and 15, and he'll most likely be a championship rival again this season, Synthetic, who's down in I think P11 or P12 at this stage, so he's not going to get any points. So it's still good in that sense, and we're still getting some good points around a track that's not really too strong for me. But after the first stint I probably expected a lot more. As now heading around the final corner, we've got to get a good exit, and we have built up a bit of a gap to Deagle, but rich fuel mix, ERS and overtake, we're going to have to manage fuel and ERS on this lap because we haven't got much of it. And Deagle switches it to the inside. You would have seen how much he closed on us there down the pit straight. He goes up the inside, and we're going side by side towards turn 2, and I've actually had to cut the corner there, and that's given me my third warning, which gives me a 3-second time penalty. And now Michael's side by side with us as well, and going towards turn number 4 we're going to lose 2 positions here. Michael gets through on us, and now he's going side by side with Deagle towards the S's, and I was hoping maybe we could try and get some of them back into this couple of corners here. And Michael goes onto the curb, we almost hit him there, and Epic Gamer's actually got a puncher now. Epic Gamer's got a puncher, and Michael goes down the inside of Deagle. Deagle actually had a problem with his wheel, where his wheel started selecting random buttons, so we've managed to get past him, and now Epic Gamer, we've managed to get past him as well with his puncher. And yeah, Epic Gamer's strategy nearly worked there, but unfortunately for him it didn't, and now we've just got to focus on getting Michael back and hopefully staying in front of Deagle with that 3-second time penalty we've just got, which I actually took to the stewards because I thought I had no choice basically other than to cut the corner. And you can see we're going to send it into this penultimate corner up the inside of Michael, 4th gear, and we can't quite get the move done around that penultimate corner, and now we've got to give it everything here in this final corner to get back P2. But I don't think Michael has a penalty, so there's nothing really we can do in this situation. Dom crosses the line, and he has enough of a gap to maintain the win, and we're going to head towards the line, not able to make a move on Michael. We cross the line in P3, and you can see the penalty puts us down into P4, which is a massive shame, and I'm still waiting for the outcome of the steward's inquiry as to whether I get my penalty removed, because yeah, as I said, I felt like I didn't really have much choice other than to cut the corner, which gave me a penalty. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. That was a pretty crazy race, and I will see you very soon for round number 3, which is China. Goodbye.